In the world of War of the Wicked, witches are real. They are women born with extraordinary powers, capable of manipulating their life forces in ways that can only be described as black magic. Magic could be a powerful tool, but it can also end up being a dangerous weapon in the wrong hands. Many would use magic for nefarious purposes as the temptation was too high, and as such, witches have been feared and persecuted throughout the ages. In search of a sanctuary, some of them fled from the old world to the new one in the Americas. Unfortunately, where hope goes, hate also follows. Witch trials have spread across America like a plague, and by the 1930s, most of them have either been killed or gone into hiding. In Germany, however, the rise of the Nazi Party has reignited interest in the powers of the occult and black magic. With this ironic twist of fate, some witches in America returned to Europe and were welcomed as heroes instead of monsters. This turn of events eventually led to the formation of the Hexenkessels, Witches of the Cauldron, a group of formidable witches who have allied themselves with the Axis powers. When America joined the war in 1941, they were already years behind their enemies in black magic warfare. Something had to be done before it was too late. Met with considerable amount of pushback, President Roosevelt made the controversial decision to create the American Witch Brigade, their very own black magic military organization. In exchange for their services, the witches who fight for the brigade would all receive presidential pardons. Thus begins the War of the Wicked. Thank you for watching my first lore video. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I'm new to the whole YouTube thing, so I'm still trying to figure out how to structure my videos. For now, I plan to put the lore and the story stuff in front of the video. Then, in the second half of the video, it would be more like a behind the scenes for the content of the video. So it would be like rough sketches, process videos, and just me talking about the stuff that I designed. So since this is the first lore video of War of the Wicked, I'd like to talk about how the project came to be. Its origin, so to speak. It all started in 2016, 2017, where I was brainstorming a grounded, realistic take on magical warfare, similar to how Christopher Nolan reinvented Batman with a more grounded and realistic version of the character. And I want to do the same thing that he did, but for magical soldiers, so to speak. You know, I knew right away that I wanted to incorporate the witch hunt and witch trials throughout Europe and America, and then eventually have it lead to one of the world wars. The first sketch that I ever did was based on World War I. I chose World War I because it was a very interesting time where soldiers incorporated armor into their uniform. I felt like it could let me explore more interesting designs and allow me to blend realism and fantasy together better. So as you can see here, this is one of my proto-witches. I tried to create a witch-like nose for her gas mask, and I tried to incorporate elements of the witch hat into the soldier's helmet. The underside of the helmet would carry magical circles where they would hide all these spells, and the giant hole in the middle of her hat would allow her to see above her, so there was no blind spots. My design principle here is to choose fantastical shapes and silhouettes, and try to come up with practical reasonings behind their designs. But as I worked on the sketch, I realized that this didn't really vibe with me. First of all, it doesn't really look like a witch anymore. And second of all, I feel like I was really overthinking all the design choices that I was making. You know, I was trying to make everything make sense realistically. And that's just not possible because I'm trying to merge fantasy and realism together. I didn't really know where to let go. And I think partly it's because I wasn't that passionate about World War I in the first place. You know, my heart really gravitated towards World War II anyway. So, you know, I scrapped the design. I kept elements that I liked, such as the goggles and the witch nose, and I started over again, this time in World War II. By changing the setting to World War II, armor was off the table. I really limited my visual references to just the military uniform and witch-like design elements such as the hat, the nose, cloak, magical stuff like that. And really that helped me focus my designs and ground the characters more, at least for a starting point, in the project. You know, as years passed by, I did start to incorporate more magical elements and more fantastical silhouettes and stuff like that. But at the beginning, it was much more grounded, and removing armor really helped with that process. Thematically speaking, I also felt like World War II was a much better fit with the whole persecution and discrimination against witches, as well as the fact that Nazis have an obsession with the occult, and it just felt like a very natural fit with the whole setting. Now, at this point in my career, I was actually starting to get a bit disillusioned, jaded by my role in the game industry, and I actually quit my job as a game producer and enrolled in a design school to be a concept artist, basically restarting my whole journey, full-blown quarter-life crisis right here. Now, I was at this school where I decided to expand on this idea and make a full-blown project where I can use it as a concept art portfolio and apply for jobs in the game industry again. And so, War of the Wicked is born, and here I am years later still working on it. So this concludes my second YouTube video, and these are actually way harder than I thought they would be. Recording myself is actually quite difficult, makes me painfully aware of myself, which I am not usually. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.